mention the shrines of famous poets in Pakistan, particularly Punjab, and one's thoughts jump to that of Baba Bulle Shah, master of Punjabi poetry, laid to rest in Kasur. Not far, in the scheme of things, lies Sir Muhammad Allama Iqbal in Lahore, while to the southwest, near Shorkot, is the tomb of Sultan Bahu. There are so many more to name, of course, and special mention must be reserved for Waris Shah. Waris Shah was a Punjabi Sufi poet, renowned for his contribution to Punjabi literature. He is best known for his seminal work Heer Ranjha, based on the traditional folk tale of Heer and her lover Ranjha. Heer is considered one of the quintessential works of classical Punjabi literature. The story of Heer was also told by several other writers, including notable versions by Damodar Das, Mukbal, and Ahmed Gujjar, but Waris Shah's version is by far the most popular today. Waris Shah is also called Shakespeare of the Punjabi language because of his great poetic love story, Heer Ranjha. Some critics say that through this story of romantic love, he tried to portray the love of man for God, the quintessential subject of Sufi literature. Waris Shah, a Punjabi Sufi poet of the Chishti order, was born in Jandiala Sher Khan, presently in district Sheikhupura, in the 18th century, and was eventually buried there with his father and brother. Though it is difficult to ascertain the precise year of his birth, historians put it around 1720 to 1730. His father's name was Gulshar Shah and mother's name was Kamal Banu. Waris's parents are said to have died when he was young. Waris spent years in search of the perfect spiritual guide. Waris Shah acknowledged himself to be a disciple of an ustad from Kasur. He was just a minor when he left for Kasur to acquire knowledge and attended the service of Hazrat Maulana Ghulam Murtaza, who was visiting Kasur at that time. After completing his education in Kasur, he moved to Malka Hans, a village 12 kilometers north of Pakpattan. Here he resided in a small room adjacent to a historic masjid, now called Masjid Waris Shah. His mausoleum is a place of pilgrimage today, especially for those in love. Heer Ranjha was written by Waris Shah. Some historians say that the story was the original work of Shah, written after he had fallen in love with a girl named Bhag Bhari. Others say that Heer and Ranjha were real personalities who lived under the Lodi dynasty in India of the 15th and 16th century, and that Waris Shah later utilized these personalities for his novel that he wrote in 1766. Waris Shah states that the story has a deeper meaning, referring to the unrelenting quest that man has towards God. Waris Shah lived during a time when India was going through rapid change, Mughal power was faltering, religious reformation movements were gaining momentum. European powers were knocking on South Asian shores, and warring factions were constantly rebelling against each other. These socio-political circumstances strongly shaped his work, and Heer would imbibe that tumultuous history of Punjab for eons to come. He studied with Baba Bulle Shah. After acquiring worldly knowledge, Maulvi Sahib allowed him to go and acquire esoteric knowledge and swear allegiance wherever he wants. History shows that Baba Bulle Shah swore allegiance to Shah Inayat Qadri, while Syed Waris Shah swore allegiance to the family of Khwaja Fariduddin Ganj Shukr. He expressed his displeasure over the incident and said that Waris Shah, Baba Bulle Shah played the fiddle after gaining knowledge and you wrote Heer. When you did not answer, Maulana told his disciples to lock him in a room. The next day he took you out and ordered you to read the book. When you started reading, you could see the condition of Maulana Sahib. After hearing, he said, Varsa, you have put all the jewels in the rope of Monj. This is the first sentence that shows the value of this book. Syed Waris Shah is in fact a dervish Sufi poet. The period of Waris Shah is from Muhammad Shah Rangila to Ahmed Shah Abdali. You have given rise to the Punjabi language. Waris Shah has played a significant role in the compilation and promotion of Punjabi. Your word is very popular in Pakistan and India, especially among Sikhs. Heer also uses many proverbs that have the status of proverbs for people. Dr. Manzoor Ejaz has spent several years researching and analyzing Heer Ranjha of Waris Shah. It is no wonder then he came up with 5 volumes of Waris Nama in which he interpreted Heer in Punjabi for researchers and laymen alike. These 5 volumes testify to his learning and erudition as an outstanding researcher, critic of Punjabi language and literature. The slim book Waris Shah, the ideologue. This book was born when he was digging out facts, reading the versions that other poets such as Damodar Das and Shah Jahan Mukbal wrote. The idea was to offer English reading audience a glimpse into the spectacular world of Heer of Waris Shah. There are 7 short essays in the book, which explore the different features of Waris Shah as an artist extraordinaire as well as an incisive social and cultural chronicler of the Punjab of his times. Manzoor Ejaz argues that Waris Shah has mentioned many places and towns of that era and also about the revenue system of the Punjab of his era. He severely takes to task the clerics who use religion to exploit the helpless masses. It is also worth mentioning that Waris Shah knew about the foreign countries and was well aware of the Europeans' arrival in India. He also mentions medicine or Europeans for treating Heer from snake bite. In praising Heer he mentions China, Kashmir, Rome, Balkh, Kabul. By comparing Waris Shah as Heer with other poets, Damodar Das and Shah Jahan Mukbal, Manzoor Ejaz draws a comparative analysis. One wishes Dr. Manzoor Ejaz write more on Waris Shah in English as well in Urdu so that his profound knowledge reaches more readership. Waris Shah is buried in Jandiala Sher Khan. A beautiful tomb stands on his grave with a big complex all around. There is a library in the compound and numerous shops outside the main entrance selling foodstuffs, collectibles, posters of Waris Shah and books on Sufism and Sufi poetry.